Hi, everyone. I hope you guys are all doing well and you're staying safe. I miss you guys very, very much. Um, I know this is a crazy time and it's a little bit of a lame excuse to be stuck at home, but I hope that you guys are staying safe and that you're staying home. I know that with all this extra time and you being out of school, yay! That it's going to be really, really tempting for you guys to want to go and hang out with your friends and do little play dates and whatnot. But please, 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 I beg you, make sure that you guys are staying home and staying safe. Um, because what's crazy about this virus is that you don't even know that you might have it. And if you go to your friends and say that they have their grandma there and you carry that disease into their house, um, it could just be very, very disastrous. So please, please make sure that you guys are staying safe and you're staying home. I know it's kind of boring, but be helpful to your parents. Okay, help around the house. Stay active. Go out for walks. With your mom and dad or your little brother or sister. Ride your bike, okay? But stay in your neighborhood. Don't go too far. Definitely stay away from those trails. I know it's really tempting to want to go and hike the mountains or go out Mount Rubidoux, although they closed that already. But just make sure that you're staying home, you're staying safe. Make sure you're always washing your hands as much as possible. My hands are super dry from washing them all the time. But I hope that you guys are staying safe. So this is the new normal. We're going to be presenting to you guys via videos and live sessions. I would love to get a live session going. I'm still trying to figure out if we're going to be able to do that with you guys. We have a meeting with Mr. Arenas next week on Tuesday. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to see some of your faces because I miss you guys terribly. I really do. But for now, this will be our new normal. So I don't usually do videos where I put the webcam on, but I figured you guys would want to see your favorite teachers. So I'm just kidding. All right. So we're going to continue on with evolutionary history where we kind of left off, or where Mr. Cook left off. So I was going to continue on with that unit. We had pretty much finished chapter 1 in this unit, so I'm just going to move on to chapter 2 and then go from there. And the first thing that I'm going to have you guys do is I'm going to have you guys just finish up the vocabulary that he told you guys to set up. You had only written down 2 words, and so you should have that set up in your notebook. It should look something like this, okay? It should be 2 pages over on page 38, input and output. If you didn't do that, then take the time now to set it up. Feel free to pause the video. Make sure you do 7 words on each side just so that it stays nice and neat. If for those of you who have the microscopic handwriting, just take up the 2 pages, okay? Who are you hurting? All right. So if you need more time, you can pause it. I believe you already have 2 words on here. You have body structure, and then I think you have shared structure, which is somewhere down over here somewhere. There we go. Okay. So go ahead and keep those words in. You can just start off where or just start the words where you left off on your paper. So yeah, so I'm going to go through these definitions for you guys. If I go too fast for you, just pause the video, rewind, fast forward, whatever. Okay. So here we go. Body structure. Like I said, you should have this word already, but body structure is defined as a part of the organism. For example, 1 or more bones. So it could be the head, it could be the neck, it could be the arm, it could be the forearm, etc., etc. Basically any part of the body. Then we have descendant species. Descendant species is defined as a more recent species that evolved from an ancestor population. So we are all descended from our grandparents and our great-grandparents and so on and so on. So you guys in your family have a common ancestor, okay? You have a great-great-grandfather, And so you guys are the most recent species, so you guys would be considered the descendants, okay? So that's what a descendant species is. Our third word is evolution. It's the process by which species adapt to environmental changes over a very long time. That's the key part right there, okay? Very long time. A lot of people think that evolution happens in one lifetime. It doesn't. It actually occurs over thousands, if not millions of years. Okay, so you can see in this picture here, we have this organism, this wolf-looking creature, okay, developed into the middle one, and then developed to the modern day hyena, okay? So if we were to look at the bones or the time dating between those three creatures, I'm pretty sure we would find thousands, if not millions of years between them, okay? So don't ever think that evolution happens in a short period of time, because it doesn't, okay? It happens over a long period of time. Evolutionary time. It's the very long time that spans the history of Earth from the very first cellular life to the present. So Earth is believed to be 4.6 billion years old. Now, actually, life didn't actually start at the same time that Earth was created. It actually started a long time after. And the very first life were actually just cells. They were just bacteria and little prokaryotes and all these little organisms. And then that developed over millions of years to what we have today. So all that whole time span is called evolutionary time. Our fifth word is extinct. So you guys probably already know what this is, but extinct means having died out completely and no longer alive anywhere on Earth. So when something goes extinct, it means that it's completely gone. You will never see it again. It's gone, kaput. It's just done. Which is why a lot of animals a lot of the fossils that we have now, we don't see those same creatures. There's very few that are still alive today. For example, you would probably consider the cockroach. That one has been around millions of years. Some fish, even some, actually, no, those are the only ones that I can think of. Insects, some fish. Yeah, that's about it. I can't think of any land creatures. If you guys think of one, email me, because I'm interested in hearing it. But yeah, so a lot of animals that are gone completely are considered to be extinct. Next up, we have fossil. Fossil is evidence of life from the past, such as bones, footprints, or leaf prints. So these are body parts that we find embedded in rock. That it would be considered a fossil. So fossils are actually kind of cool because it takes a very unique process to make a fossil. And so when you see one, it is a big deal because it's proof that there was creatures long ago. So if you've ever been to a museum, there's one in San Bernardino where we took the 8th graders last year, and they had quite a few fossils. It was actually really, really cool. So maybe when this whole mess is over, you can go and visit one. Then we have generation. So you probably have heard this term before. It's the group of individuals born and living at about the same time. So right now in our society, we have 3 different generations. We have boomers, okay? Then we have, I think it's Generation Y. Then we have millennials. Then we have Generation Z, which is you guys. I'm a millennial because typically kids that were born in like the late 70s to the late 80s, those are considered millennials. And so having those 3 types of generations, so grandparent, parent, and then son, those are 3 different generations. So those are those group individuals living at the same time. Then we have limbs. Limb is basically an organism's arm, leg, or wing. So anything that sticks out from your body is a limb, okay? So dogs have limbs, we have limbs, mice have limbs, so on and so forth, okay? Anything that sticks out for them is basically a limb. Then we have a paleontologist. Oh, excuse me. A paleontologist is a scientist who studies fossils in order to understand the ancient history of life on Earth. So those people who dig up and study fossils and see how one creature descended and turned into another one, that is a paleontologist. So they're able to tell us what life was like way back when. And then we have a population. Population is a group of the same type of organism living in the same area. So if you've ever been hiking or you've gone camping and you see a group of ants, maybe like an anthill, or you see some squirrels, or you see coyotes or anything like that, that is a population because it's the same type of organism living only in one specific area. If you were to go to the next city over, that would be a different population. Here in Riverside, our population of Riversidians, or whatever you want to call them, we are a population. This one is the second word that you already have, shared structure. I don't really like this term, so I want you to add this term right here, homologous structure, because that's the term that you're going to hear in biology, in AP environmental science, if you ever take it, or AP biology. A shared structure is a body structure in which two or more species that features the same parts. For example, the same bones. So this is what we were looking for in your owl pellet dissections, which I know we didn't get to finish and get to discuss, but those rodents in those owl pellet dissections shared the same type of bones that we have as well. So I'll talk about that more as we go through chapter 2 of Amplify. Then we have speciation. It's the process by which one population evolves into two or more different species. A good example of this is the finches that Charles Darwin studied. So finches descended from one specific finch, and then they just descended into many different types that specialize in insect eating or woodpecker type or seed eating. So that's how we have like different breeds of dogs. They're all dogs, but they're different breeds, okay? And eventually, sometimes they become different species. Then we have stability. Stability is defined as when something stays mostly the same over time. So in a population, you want things to be stable or stay constant over time. You want the water amount to stay the same. You want the food supply to stay the same. You want the habitat to stay the same. You want the birth and the death rate to stay the same. Any of those goes out of whack, then you lose stability. And then last but not least, we have related. You guys should know what this is. It's sharing a common ancestor population. So an example, dogs and wolves are excellent examples of something that is related. You are related to your grandfather and your cousins and your aunts and your mom and your dad. You guys are all related because you share a common ancestor. All right, so that is it for this vocabulary. If you need more time, you can just rewind, fast forward, whatever you need to do. But I am also almost up on my recording here, so I will see you guys next time. Please take care of each other and be good, okay? Love you guys. Bye.